YouTube announced vertical mode live streaming being pushed out into the Shorts feed for the very first time. This is an experiment that they're running that I'm actually super pumped about. I'll tell you exactly why. So when you go live in vertical mode, it's going to show up in the Shorts feed. The reason for this is easier discovery. It's going to help new and emerging creators have really a faster path to going live. It is actually easier to go live with this method that I'm going to talk to you about than it is necessarily to go live with the intended, professional environment that we always talk about right over here at Live Streaming Pros. So I'm going to talk about, I'm going to actually give you a demo. I'm going to talk about some very specific use cases that you can use this feature for. And I'm going to talk about some pros and cons of using vertical live streams and having that being pushed out into the Shorts feed. So we're going to cover all of that. If you have questions, put a Q in front of your question and we will tackle that after. Now, we have the differences. So as you know, as you're watching with this live stream, it is actually a landscape stream, right? It is not a vertical live stream. So landscape live streams with all of the fancy graphics and the things that you see me do on a daily, regular basis is the typical way we go live on YouTube. And in fact, YouTube viewers tend to really like that professional look and feel just as they do on the recorded video side. But with this capability of going live vertically, which by the way, you've always been able to go live vertically, and we'll dig into that a little bit. But with this ability to go live vertically and have it actually discovered in the Shorts feed, it's going to kind of help open things up. So the difference between landscape and vertical. Landscape is not going to be discovered in Shorts feed. If you go live vertically, it will be discovered in the Shorts feed. Landscape, you're going to find, through the channel, you're going to find through other discovery methods like homepage feed and things like that. With vertical streaming, when you land in the Shorts feed, I'll show you this. Actually, let me show you this right now so you get a good sense for what this even looks like. So when you land in the Shorts feed, you actually are going, this is the Shorts feed. This is MKBHD Short. If you pause it, you can click that little live button at the top, and then you'll be in this whole live stream process. So like all a feed, you're gonna see the live feed of all vertical live streams. And so I'm going to scroll back here just so you can see that again. Go back up to MKBHD's. I have to peer over here. And so what you're going to see is as you're looking at MKBHD's shorts, you're going to see a live, and then you can kind of flip over into all the live options, right? Now, some other differences is that vertical streams do not have mid-roll or pre-roll ads. That's something to consider if you're using that in your landscape your landscape normal live streams. Also, vertical live streams will not be able to deliver 4K. So you cannot stream 4K and go vertically and have that show up in the Shorts. There is also no live redirect, and memberships are available because memberships are available anytime to any viewer. But during a vertical live stream that is showing up in that feed that I just showed you, you're not going to be able to gift memberships as a viewer. So those are kind of the differences, just to put that into perspective of what you're doing landscape versus vertical. The requirements, we're looking at a normal requirement of 50 subscribers to go live. You cannot have any strikes. You will need to, if you've never gone live before in your life, you will need to wait 24 hours. So you have to go into your channel, you have to ask for approval to go live, and then you're going to have a wait wait period of 24 hours before you can start live. So if you're planning a live, just be sure to pay attention to that and make sure that you actually plan for that in advance. Now, you can go live. So this is a question that's been coming up for people a lot. Can I use my software? Can I use Ecamm? Can I use vMix? Can I use OBS? Yes, 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 yes. You can go live vertically in either mobile from the phone or using software, but set to a vertical aspect ratio, which is what I've done in a stream that we are going to show you here in just a second. Now, the other thing to keep in mind here when it comes to all of the details about how this is working is that live is live, whether we're talking about vertical or landscape live streams. You are going to gain watch time as long as you archive those vertical live streams as public. So when you're done with it, it needs to be set to public if it wasn't already. And as long as that is stayed and you are not deleting that video, then it will gain you watch time just like a regular live stream. And the notifications for subscribers are going to work the same way. So first and foremost, I want to hear in the comments, those of you watching this stream live, what are you thinking? How are you feeling about this? I'm excited because of the reasons that I'm about to share with you after this demo. I'm going to talk to you about the different use cases that are actually going to be huge benefits for you as a streamer on the YouTube platform. So let's get to the demo. Now, this is a really, really important piece of this. At this moment, when I'm doing this live stream, this experiment of having vertical live streams show up in the Shorts feed is for all creators. All creators, if you are creating content on YouTube, if you have a channel, if you are approved for live streaming, you can do this. Now, the only difference at this moment, because we are mid-experiment, is that the viewer side is not everybody. So not all viewers are going to be able to see this in their Shorts feed. So if you're looking through your Shorts feed, you may or may not be in the experiment. It is random. So if you're not seeing it, then just know that you're as it gets out of the experiment, that's when you'll be able to see it. But you may be in the experiment, so it's worth taking a look in your own feed to see. Now, I am actually currently on this stream that you're watching, going live from the MacBook, from my Mac setup, from my studio setup that you all know and love right here, right? We are live from my main setup for this stream. Now, what I've also done is actually set up my laptop with a secondary stream, and we are live vertically in that. Now, we're going to share the link with you guys in the chat room right now so that you can go watch that stream secondarily. It has no audio because I don't want any echo between the two streams. But also, I just wanted to give you the ability to see that vertical stream and see the experience as a viewer, especially since you may not be in the experiment and may not come across it in your Shorts feed. So, that is something that we're dropping. Yeah, we've dropped that link in the chat room. So you can click on over to see that. You're going to see kind of a side view angle from that stream. That is from the creator side or the creator standpoint. You can go live from your software. You can go live from your phone. You just want to make sure that you actually set that into virtual or vertical aspect ratio. In Ecamm, you can do that super easily. It's in the preferences. You just change the aspect ratio. And keep in mind, you actually can have multiple streams for one channel. And you'll notice that we are doing that right here on this channel. Now, from the viewer side of things, I want, and actually here, this is from the other side of from the creator side. This is the vertical live stream that you're seeing. It looks just like a channel, like on that channel or that view page, it looks just like anything else except it's vertical stream, right? So that's something to keep in mind. You still have the chat going. If you were watching that on mobile, you would have the mobile experience. The difference is, of course, in the way that you would actually be discovering that in the vertical live feed. So this is the vertical live feed. Kind of looking like TikTok, is it not? Yeah. So you'll recognize this if you spend any time on TikTok live streams as well. And I'm actually super curious how many of you do spend time watching TikTok live streams. I personally do not. So I'm actually really excited about YouTube vertical streaming because I feel like I'm more likely to watch as a viewer the YouTube content vertically as I'm scrolling through shorts versus what my mindset tends to be when I'm watching TikTok live streams. So it's that I want you guys to tell me. We're going to get to the advantages, the pros and cons. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. So that's how it's all working. If you have additional questions about how it works, drop those questions with a Q in front of the question. And then we're going to tackle that after I complete this demo. Now, the use cases for this. There are a couple of things here that I think that are really good, strong use cases. How many of you, all right, how many of you say me in the comments or not me in the comments if you've heard me talking about live streams, not live streams, but live streams. You know, those casual live streams that you do from your phone, the raw phone streams where I encourage you to just connect with your audience. Not me, me. Okay, lots of me's, some not me's. Those live streams are part of my big picture live video strategy that I feel is incredibly important to the process of going live and building a loyal community. However, I have always said, don't do live streams on your YouTube channel. Don't do it because it kind of ruins the experience of the YouTube channel itself. And there's never been a way to actually easily go live and connect with your audience on a real deep human level. I'm talking about you get a new puppy and you share that experience. It has nothing to do with the content that your audience has come to expect from you. So you don't want to mess with that on your main channel on YouTube. But we really do need to lean into that human experience, that human connection, in order for your audience members to really know, like, and trust you. I want you to connect with them in that way. And Facebook, Instagram, TikTok have always been great ways to actually push out a human-based live stream, raw video that just connects, that just humanizes you, right? And so that has always been missing on the main YouTube experience. And that is really the core of why I am super excited to have this actually come through in the way it is. And it's not really totally messing with your main channel. It will give the same notifications. So there is an element that we will need to dive into as we experiment with this process and this strategy. But it is an opportunity for you to add that human element into your channel strategy as a whole. Yes, Katie, we shall do a live stream on live shorts. Now, I'm going to dive deeper in, this is brand new news as of this week, in terms of that strategy and how that fits in with your main YouTube channel experience. I will dive deeper into that as we go forward, as I experiment and as I have you guys experiment. So stay tuned and pay attention, but that is now a possibility and it never has been. I was always wanting it on the community tab in order to go live on the community tab, and I'm still hoping for that. But now at least we have some place to do that. And it also expands the audience potential from that perspective so that at a front level, at a discovery point of view, they can actually know, like, and trust you pretty quickly from a live stream content, and then they might be more interested in your main content as well. So we can kind of, as a strategic standpoint, start to flip and experiment with both sides of that discovery process. Does that make sense? Let me know. I can go into more detail on that. Now, mobile game streams is a second use case. A lot of people do, like, what's that, Pokemon Go, or like any mobile game streams. They're already in vertical mode. And so it would be easier if you're wanting to kind of do that and share those game experiences. They're already in vertical mode, so it would be super easy and makes a lot of sense for you to stream those mobile game streams in a vertical environment. Now, the third use case that I really want to dive into here is the dual stream experience. So from right now, right, we are landscape. This is going to be a recorded video after I'm done being live that is going to be good for discovery, for search, for recorded video purposes. Then we also have the secondary dual stream experience, if we want to call it that, vertical, for that higher end discovery, for that larger bucket discovery, right? And so you can do that from, like, number one, you can have software plus the phone. So let's say my main stream is going landscape, and I am actually doing all my graphics and all of that because I'm thinking long term with my eChem professional video stream. I could combine that for a dual stream experience on the phone, where they are seeing, kind of like you are right now if you're watching the vertical stream that we gave you the link for. You can actually, like, have that either through eChem vertical or through the phone, right? So you can have that kind of behind the scenes experience, which could be a really cool way to actually use vertical for discovery of your main stream experience. So those are always a possibility. Number two is to actually have two different computers going on, like I do right now. I have eChem over here and I have eChem over here. Now, what I could do, I've got the graphics going on the main stream, and I could actually add some vertical graphics that looked really cool here on the eChem stream as well. So they get almost the same experience, as opposed to more of a behind the scenes experience. They get almost the same experience with just specifically fed graphics for each one. Now, the third thing that we could do with this is a dual computer stream. So this would be, the same original feed. Okay. So I have one main computer. I have one main stream going out like you're watching right now. And I'm connecting a secondary computer to my main computer. So I'm actually getting the same original feed as opposed to this, like, secondary camera. I'm actually going to be able to send two streams out with this camera. Does that make sense? But what could happen if I connect a secondary computer to the first computer? I then send that original feed that you're watching right now without the graphics to the secondary stream, add in some different graphics, and I still get to use my same camera and mic setup. That's pretty powerful. During our virtual event, Expand Your Reach, we did this exact thing. We had a private stream going on because it was a paid virtual event, and we were streaming to that experience for everybody who paid a ticket. But what we did was we took that same feed, the same feed that the viewers were getting who paid, and we took a free version of that, sent that out to Facebook and YouTube as a promotional opportunity to say, hey, a sneak peek, if you will, right? Like, hey, here's what's happening right now as we speak, but it's happening over here in this private thing. And it had a separate banner, different graphics all together on Facebook and YouTube. It said, come get your ticket. right? And that sold tickets to our virtual event while we were live at the virtual event. And so from a dual computer stream scenario, you can actually do really cool things like that. So those are some use cases that I think that you should spend some time thinking about. And if you have use cases that you can think of using all of these vertical versus landscape streams, please do drop them in the chat room. Now, the pros of this. Let's dig into pros and cons, because there are some cons that I really want you to be aware of when it comes to using vertical live streams. On the pros side, it's the ease of use. Guys, this is so easy. You can just go live from your phone. You can go live from software, and it doesn't require you to have to use software, right? You could just take your phone and you could go live and you could create that live stream. You could create an educational stream, whatever you want in your strategy. And you wind up with quicker entry to live, right? Because you're not having to set up software. And you get the benefit of bigger discovery at that same time. So from a pro's perspective, as much as I want you to have the professional live streams and all of the graphics and all of that, because it creates instant credibility, there is a time and a place for everything. And these vertical, more raw streams can actually be a huge benefit to your overall strategy. So we really want to dive into that. Now, the cons of this is that because of the bigger discovery, because in shorts, as you know, if you've been paying attention to the short strategies, shorts is getting pushed out there, pushed out there, and it has bigger discovery potential. So you're gonna need to catch the viewer's attention faster. You saw when I'm gonna actually go back to this. You saw as I was playing with this, right? And we're watching streams. Sorry, I think it's not playing. There we go. So as we're watching streams, we're flipping, right? We're going fast through these vertical streams. If you don't catch my attention right away, I'm going to scroll right past. This is a major con in terms of having that bigger discovery potential. You as a creator will need to start thinking about how to catch viewers' attention faster with interest. So who is your audience? What do they care about? How are you going to catch them and keep them from scrolling right past you? That's something that we can dive way deeper into in a future video. If you would like, if you want, just let me know. Now, it is also not necessarily the highest quality, as I was talking about. It is not, you can actually add vertical graphics, but you can't do 4K. If you have the graphics, they're going to have to be thought through and prepared in advance. Otherwise, if you use the same graphics I'm using, that's gonna get chopped off. You're gonna see this much of me, and you're not even gonna probably see my whole name, right? So you're not gonna get the full graphics experience, and so you're gonna have to think through that process as well. So that is pretty much everything you need to know at an overview level of YouTube Live Vertical in Shorts feed. This is an experiment. It is available to all creators, and those of viewers who are in the current experiment at this time will see them in the feed. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Tell me, are you excited? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts around this news and the demo that I just gave you? And I'm gonna continue moving on for the live viewers watching right now into Q&A. If you're watching the recording of this, please do drop your thoughts in the comments and keep coming back to the live streams. We're live every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific.